How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Another beautiful day at the lake. Look at that. I'm telling you, you should have to pay to get in here. But anyway, we're working on the boathouse again today. Guess what? Surprise, eh? You know, I finished the fascia on it there the other day, and I got the soffits on, and the gable is fixed up, the roof is all on, the building's kind of half-ass square. And then I figured the only thing left to do now is get back inside and start working on that pump enclosure. But there was one other little thing at the bottom of the doors to the boathouse. There was some rot showing on the threshold. So I thought, well, I'll just take 2 minutes and I'll cut out that piece of 2x4 that was always there for thresholds, piece of 2x4. I'll just cut that out and pop a new one in there, would be good to go, and then I'll get right at that pump. But look, a bit of a setback here this morning. Look what I found. So there's no two ways about it. The threshold was rotten, but when I cut the threshold out of here and pulled it up, started cleaning up the mess, look what I discovered right here. My plywood that's on the floor, 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood, under the threshold here, it's all rotten out. Look at that, you pull that out with your finger, right? That kind of was disappointing to find out. The sheathing on the outside of it here too, that's, you know, rotten. The sills underneath it, they still seem in good shape, good and solid. But I've got this rot in my floor. So now I'm faced with, how do I fix that? So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, I'm going to measure back here until I get good solid wood, and then I'm just going to cut a patch out and try to put a piece in it. I'm not sure what I have to replace it with just yet, but we're going to have to cut that out and replace it, that's for sure. So kind of a setback. Well, spent a little bit of time investigating and cleaning up a little bit, and yeah, this plywood, she's toast, eh? After putting the fascia board up, the fascia was 1x8 pressure treated spruce, and it's the same thickness as the plywood. So what I'm thinking, because this rot only seems to go back like 3 or 4 inches, I'm thinking I might just replace the piece of the flooring with a piece of the fascia. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I guess my next step right now is to find out exactly how wide my fascia board is, then measure back here and put a piece of it, cut it out so I can put a piece of the fascia board in here to repair the floor. So I determined that my fascia board is 7 and about 1/16 wide. So I'm going to measure back here 7 inches. Right here. And I'll put the square in here. Alright, I have my saw here, and the blade is set to just a little bit more than 3/4 because I don't want to cut too deep into the floor joists, but I want to make sure I cut through the plywood. Might be a little hard to see this because it's half in the sun and half in the shade, but I have a trim saw. These are handy little tools to get. If you ever find it in your budget to afford one, I'd get one. Let's try it. Alright, I think that's cut through there now, so I have to go do the other side. Now we're going to see if we can get this out. There you go. So now I'm looking at this piece right here, and that's kind of doty right there. This is a piece of scrap that I cut off that fascia board. So if I place that in there, you see that's the same height almost as what the plywood floor is. So it should fit in there and be a pretty good replacement for the floor. I see some gaps in there, so maybe what I'll do is I'll put some PL Premium rate on that and fill that in there. Speaking of PL Premium, I just had a good idea here. All the joists and everything seem good. I might just take my chisel and chisel this out and then fill it with PL Premium when I put the piece back on it. So that might be an alternative too, right? Okay, here's my piece of fascia board, and the knots are already coming loose in this fascia. So, well, what are you going to do, right? Hopefully this will fit in here. I cut it so that it would be a little bit tight. I think I cut it so it would be a little bit tight. Okay, what a mess, boys, what a mess. All right, I got these little blocks here. I want to put one under the corners. About like that, I think would do it. Now that I've got caulk everywhere, every time I put my hand down, I'm putting it right in it. Oh, man. Okay, let's try and put this in again. Oh, what I did, by the way, off camera there, I put a block of wood under here to keep my knot from pushing right through. Try and put this knot in again. Okay, put a little bead right along here. That's another thing about caulking. You can't make it any nicer than when you first put it on. Good job, this is just a boathouse, not a bathtub. Okay, that's about as much mess as I can make on that for now. I'm going to go cut a piece of 2x4 now, 46.5, and put that threshold back in. So we're going to sit this right down in here, something like that. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, going to screw that down. Oh man, that job was an unexpected job, and it was poison from the Giddy Up go, I'm telling you. Oh, hard to believe how many screw-ups you could make just trying to put one little patch in. But we did get the patch in. I got this piece of 2x4 on here now is the threshold, and I put a bunch of screws in that to hold it down good. The rim joist below it here was a little bit rotten in the center, remember? And I filled that up with caulking. Well, I didn't use all my caulking, got most of it on my hands. So hopefully that's going to, delay that rot. And then I put a piece of the pressure treated fascia in the hole, and then of course I had big problems because the knots were falling out, so I had to take it in and out a couple of times in order to get the backing put in so that the knots wouldn't fall through, but I got it. And then the beautiful job of caulking I did on it, beauty to behold. Anyway, there it is. So I sure wasn't planning on doing this job today. I was hoping to get at the well. So this set me back about a day because, I don't do that much in a day anymore. But anyway, we got her patched. Hopefully it'll be good now for another 10-15 years. I sure am glad that you were able to tune in today and watch, and I hope you leave me some comments down below. And I hope so you're having a great day wherever you are. I hope it's nice and sunny and warm, but not too hot and humid because that's no fun for anybody. And I hope the bugs aren't around you. Appreciate you watching, folks. Everyone is. And don't forget, leave me a comment. I like reading the comments. And we'll talk to you.